And here we are with the original Leo Toys Skeletor package just flopping around the box. I know, it is incredibly sad, but that is the way things are at times. This box has been this way for a couple years in the other proper higher-end collectible room, packed away since we moved the big move. But I did know about this about 2 years ago when I was lightly going through some of the boxes. But Skeletor has now sold. So I thought it'd be best to put Skeletor back in this box. I only brought him out like 2 weeks ago. But the rest of the box is exactly how it's been since I packed it away so long ago. And this is a result of owning too much. I think we may have emphasized owning too much in this series. When I first moved out of that house, we sold the house. Everyone was excited. And then it was like a couple days later, you're like, are we start packing up? I mean, it's sold, right? Like, nah, just, oh my God. You don't know how much you own until you start pulling everything out. And then we ended up having a legal dispute with the house that we were purchasing. So everything had to go into storage. At the very end, we were just getting 5 hours, 4 hours sleep every day, just constantly packing. And the result is stuff like this, where it is protected. It's not in cases. It's not perfectly preserved as you would imagine these pieces would be today. They're okay. They're fine in the box. It was not being jumbled around. It was just stacked, put to the side for the moment, but still kind of depressing, obviously. But I wanted to showcase what is coming up towards another set of videos later on. And here we have Leo Skeletor. So let's get into this. This piece was produced only in India. There was a number of He-Man action figures produced by Leo Toys. You may have noticed already there's a sticker right here and it says Ram Man underneath it. And that's because they're pretty smart and savvy and saving some money, just like Mattel being, well, smart and savvy can also be referred to as being cheap. The back of the card shows the artwork of He-Man, Ram Man, Skeletor. So they thought, hey man, where's that action figure from the He-Man line? Hey man, Ram Man is also a Skeletor, so let's just use the same backer card, place a sticker on it, and we don't have to print an entire new backer card. Pretty smart, actually. Alternate variant, that deep blue skin, that's how I like my women. Off color on the armor, all the accessories here. Extremely clean, nice piece. Most of the figures were pretty close to production samples that we saw, how they were produced in the US or Europe. Only a couple figures like Faker, Skeletor, a couple pieces here and there were striking like this one is. Very expensive figure. And I wanted to mention to people, I'll be bringing this up multiple times in the videos in the future, that this piece has always been rare and difficult to find. The thing is, people always mention to me like, oh man, if I could go back in time, I would buy up everything. No, you wouldn't. Let's say if it was 2004 and this piece ran $500, which for 2004 was a pretty good amount of money for original He-Man's figure package. You're not paying over market. No one pays over market. So if you saw this at a show for $600 or $500, I mean, sure, if you really want it, you'd pay it. But at most of the time, you'd stop and say, you know what, I'll wait till the next one shows up. It might be a little bit cheaper. That's always how it is. I wish I bought more, hence back to our statement, but I just picked up Skeletor and that was it. And I'm happy with that. I'm also happy to let him go for other future purchases. I just wanted to capture that moment of just the insanity when I opened up this box like 2 years ago and just looked in there and went, oh yeah, I forgot I owned a Leo Toys Skeletor carded. And there he is in this box just chilling. And it was literally chilling as this box is being displayed to you right now. This isn't a setup. It is insanity. And this is just, as I stated to you earlier, it is a taste of things to come. We will be showcasing stuff later on of extreme high rarity, things that people rarely see, as well as things that people have never seen. So moving on. Helic Dungeons and Dragons. Absolutely one of the best lines out there for the very early 80s. They captured the essence of D&D fabulously. This variant is the much tougher variant to get of Kellic. They added for the final release these magical casting spell swirls. The figure's the same, the package is the same, everything else is the same. I was a little too young for this toy line, but I did get a bronze dragon as a hand-me-down. I had no idea it was Dungeons and Dragons. So I do have an affinity for the line, and as I grew up, I saw just how freaking awesome this line is, especially second series, and I am in love with it. So this is a very difficult piece to get. This obviously is part of the collection, but not super money. We have She-Ra. I am a She-Ra collector. I collect girls' lines of, Care Bears, Gem, She-Ra, Golden Girl from Glue, like more action figure oriented. I had Care Bears as a kid, but I'd stop it there. I don't do, obviously, Barbie. I don't do Strawberry Shortcake. Anything that just, My Little Ponies, they look great. I love how colorful they are, but I'm not touching that stuff. But Flutterina, hell yeah, it's that artwork. Solid. And this is stuff I'd pick up probably in the early 2000s. I was not looking for the best of the best. At that time, people were looking for a really nice, clean, mint shape, but there really wasn't much of a market for graded She-Ra or a lot of these toy lines. So I was happy to pick up just a nice looking Flutterino, which now has yellowed over time. We have two She-Ras. So these She-Ras are the original She-Ras. If you notice, this one is the free, pretty, oh so pretty necklace for you to wear. Not me. That's for you to wear. It says right there. It says you to wear. So that's you, viewer. Wear it. Wear it. Much more difficult to get with the free necklace piece, but no one's going bananas for it. But still a really nice clean card. They're all fading yellow. This is how it is. This one's pretty clear bubble compared. Good piece there. And if you have noticed with this She-Ra, this is a $1.99 magic marker, which means it comes from, that's right, folks, Evans. Again, I could have picked up a nicer, cleaner card without that magic marker, and this will not come off. But it was just in my hands. And that's what it was for $1.99 at Evans in the early 2000s. You would find this for $2. It was just, we'll get into that story. Bananas. Here is the second Dungeons & Dragons carded figure that they altered the artwork for and gave her, Mercian, a casting spell. All the D&D First Series characters had the upgrades to the battle action. These characters did not. Kellic second version, which was a larger, fatter version with a battle-matic action, was never produced. And we'll wrap up this box with our Lord and Savior, Bludgeon. Very difficult to get these. Even growing up in this time frame of toys, I didn't care too much about the small pretenders at that point. Even though I had like Landmine when I was a kid and Bugley. These, on the collector market, though, never showed up. They are very difficult to get. These showed up again at Evans. For $7.44 was the original price, and it was $3.50 for sale in the early 2000s. A little bit of yellowing bubble. It would be nicer to have a cleaner carded figure, but it is what it is, and I'm still pretty happy to at least have something carded, especially for the price that I paid. My gosh. Not many Transformers showed up at the Evans find. At that point, if you think about it, if stuff's still on the shelves, kids will be attracted to Transformers, so very few of that turned up, but all they say, the adventure people from Fisher-Price carded for $0.25 each. They had like 200 of them. Stranglehold, same thing. And this is an attempt to remove the price. The lamination's pretty strong in the package, but we realized once you get to this point, you were just starting to destroy the package. We just stopped right there and said, nope. These are the only two carded small pretenders that I have. And it's okay. I don't need to get an upgrade at this point. I mean, we're talking about what? $1,500 a piece for AF85. You can find one. Yeah, I'll be happy with just this. So here is just one sample of a poorly wrapped package. Now you have to remember, when I was collecting these, and to a point when I had them on display on the wall or on shelves, there really wasn't much protection then. We weren't being offered acrylic cases for She-Ra and He-Man at that point. So, yes, I should get those things now, clamshells for these to be protected. I absolutely agree, but we're just not there yet. So this will be placed back in the room for when we deal with it another time. But Skeletor will be off to a new home shortly. We're going to muscle on through the 400 tubs of production basic stuff. But we will get to the wonderful pieces in the other rooms. And I tell you, you're going to enjoy those videos a lot.